Hey everybody, Tim here with today's review of Doctor Who, story number 41, The Web of Fear. So this is 6 episodes long, one of which is missing, but, thankfully only one is missing. This is also part of that, 2013 discovery that I mentioned in the last review about how so many of them were, all 6 of them were discovered. So that's kind of cool. This is the return of Professor Travers, the Yeti, and the Great Intelligence. So just real quick, I'll tell you a little bit about me before I get too into this. I love to make lists. I don't know why. I'm weird. I make lists all the time. It doesn't even matter if I need them or not. I just like to make them. So I have all of the Doctor Who stories and episodes and everything listed out, ready, organized by Doctor and everything like that. And then as I've gotten more and more into Doctor Who and I'm learning more about it, spoiler alert a little bit, that I've realized of the whole subculture beneath Doctor Who, of all of the other episodes and movies and stuff like that, where they didn't need the full permission to do their little side adventures. So I'm super excited. I'm going to wait until much later, probably after I do the 8th Doctor, after I finish the 8th Doctor, but before I go into the new Who, I'll probably do some of those side movies. One of which will be Downtime, which is the return of Lethbridge Stewart. It's the return of Sarah Jane. It has Victoria's return, and it's a sequel almost to this, where Professor Travers and the Yeti and the Great Intelligence all come back again. So I'm super excited to I know that that's down the line. It's way down the line. But I am super excited to know that I've seen Travers before, we're seeing him again here, and then we will see him again. So, I don't know, I'm super excited for that. So, like I said, this is a sequel to the Abominable Snowman episode, and overall it's great. I kind of already said it. This is the first story that has Colonel Alistair Gordon Lethbridge Stewart, one of my favorite companions, one of my favorite characters, just kind of in general. So I'm super excited to see him. Now, Nicholas Courtney had already been in the show. He was in one of the stories of the first Doctor. So, and if you count the Children in Need special as well, technically Nicholas Courtney has been, or starred next to, of 1 through 7, which is amazing. That's something to brag about. And he is definitely one of those, if he were still alive, I would drop all sorts of money to go visit him at a Comic-Con or something like that. So I'm kind of sad that I'll never get that opportunity, but I think it would have been really amazing. And it's kind of sad that he passed away before I really got into Doctor Who, so it's one of those I couldn't appreciate him when he was still alive type situations, which is sad. And he's a great character. As soon as he came on, I started getting all happy because I know, especially going into the 3rd Doctor, how much Unit's going to be involved. And just later on with his daughter, and just the way his character develops is great. And then of course his brief cameo in the Sarah Jane adventures. So overall, I would say this is a good story. It kind of, I love the beginning of it, where it takes up, as usual, right after the last story, where Salamander opened the door while the TARDIS was in motion, and just watching them oh, close the door. It was so cheesy, but it was so great. The Mach 2 Yeti are amazing. It's one of those, they're so oversimplified, with it's just a dude in a furry suit like Chewbacca or something, but it actually works. I actually appreciate the Yeti, and I actually do think that they're a good villain for the series. The Great Intelligence wasn't in it as much as I'd hoped. That's the one where I feel they didn't really know how to write him very well. And I know he comes back in New Who. I don't remember exactly the scenario because it's been so long since I watched it. But it'll be interesting to see his return as well. So overall, I wouldn't say there's anything super amazing about it. Victoria really kind of got on my nerves a little bit. She's definitely kind of a scream queen that, I don't know if she's been that way the whole time and I just didn't pick up on it. But this episode, or this storyline specifically, I noticed she screams a lot. And so the whole like bubbles being the foam and stuff like that was really interesting, or the web, because it's the web of fear. So stuff like that I thought was really interesting. Overall, I do think it was a good story. 6 episodes, so by the end of, once we start getting into like 5 and 6, I'm starting to get a little tired of it. But I do think that it kind of held its own throughout. And I like how it wasn't a direct sequel to The Abominable Snowman. It takes place like 40 years later. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But then the guy that plays Travers is still the same actor. So that's cool. So for those who have seen this one, what did you guys think about it? What did you think about the return of Travers? If you've seen Downtime, what did you think? Like, is that something I should look forward to or something I should skip? What did you think about seeing the Yeti and the Great Intelligence again? And of what, most importantly, what do you think about Colonel Alistair Gordon Lethbridge Stewart? I like to just say his name because it's so long. Go ahead, let me know. Thank you guys for everything, and I will see you guys next time for Fury from the Deep.